What if every single day felt like an adventure? Even the simple days. Now this morning I decided I wasn't going to sit at home this weekend. I was going to pack up the van and head to Osaka, but I didn't book a hotel. I decided to camp in my car with Millie at a free roadside station, and it did rain really heavily overnight. Hi, my name is Cheney and I'm a middle-aged Australian who bought an Akiya or an empty house here in Japan, and I've been slowly renovating the property. I also have this excellent K-van, which is a K-jidosha. It's a light vehicle which I've converted into my very own camping car. It's not as flashy as some of the cars around, but you know what? It does the same job. I can still camp in this car and it can fit in my garage, which is really important for me. I'm packing super light, just my bedding and a few lights for the night time, and all of the things I need for Millie, my cat, to enjoy the camping with me. It was a really spur of the moment decision, so I haven't really prepared any meals or food for camping, but that's okay. I'm just going to enjoy the farmers market, and I heard there was a restaurant attached to the farmers market which uses all of the locally grown produce, so I'm keen to give that a try and show you what it's like. But I've bundled Miss Millie up. As soon as she heard the garage door and the car getting pulled out, she got really excited. I think she knows something's up. I think she can pick up on my vibe. I used to think that adventure needed lots of planning, and I've really changed my mindset on that. I've discovered that everything I do now has become a bit of an adventure. Whether I'm just going for a drive for the day or cleaning out my kitchen cupboard, I can make these things into an adventure by feeling and changing my mindset that life is journey. Now I'll get back to that story in a minute, but I have arrived and it is lunchtime, so I'm headed straight to the lunch buffet, which is made with the local produce. I put my name on the board at the front of the restaurant and my name was called. どうしたらいいかわからなくて、はい、すみません。ありがとう。はい、はい、5000お預かりします。ちょっとだけ待っておいてください。はい、わかりました。はい、この辺で待っててください。はい。It's always hard to know what the situation is when you go to a restaurant for the first time, but you soon figure it out. Now I opted for the counter table with the window view. I find it's a lot easier when you're eating alone to sit at a counter, and this one had a great view of the outside park, so it was perfect. I'm loving that there's a lot of fresh, healthy food on display. This is exactly what I was hoping for with a restaurant that's attached to a farmer's market. Part of my adventure mindset is making small things into challenges, and I am really excited to be here in Osaka. There's a few things I want to do while I'm here in Osaka, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So part of my living in Japan is that I've had to take a much lower salary, so the teaching salary here is very, very low. So I like to make everything into a money challenge. How little money can I spend to have an adventure? And sleeping in the car means I can afford to do more things. So normally I might spend, between $50 or say $100 on some cheap, uncomfortable accommodation somewhere in Osaka, but I'm loving that I can actually sleep in the car and have a really nice fancy buffet lunch looking out onto the park. Well, I know it's a little bit brown at the moment, but we are in winter. After I had that delicious lunch, I went into the farmer's market and I saw the seeds straight away, and it is reminding me that my next adventure is definitely to plant the garden. Before spring comes, I need to get something good into the garden for my next summer crop. And the prices here are so cheap. I can get 2 lemons for 80 yen. What a great price. So I'm definitely going to do some shopping And I did bring along the fridge with me and the battery pack, so I've got the fridge ready to go, so anything I buy I can just put straight in the fridge because I'll be staying overnight. I did find this purple sweet potato, so it's murasaki imo, and it is purple on the inside, not just on the outside, and I've always wanted to try that. I heard it was a delicacy in Okinawa, and they usually make tempura out of the murasaki imo, so I'm definitely going to try that. And everything is just a great price here and so fresh, and it's got all of the areas where it was grown and produced, so I'm pretty happy with this farmer's market, and I've got plenty to stock up my fridge back home. And this is actually a michi no eki, so that means a roadside station, and I've decided this is where I'm going to stay the night. They've got lots of little stalls on, and just down the hill from the park is where you can camp here overnight. It's not a campground, but a lot of people camp at these roadside stations for free here in Japan. So while I've been having my lunch, Millie has been in the car. So it's nice and warm in the car, thankfully. Not hot at all. I've had the windows cracked, but outside temperature is like 4 or 5 degrees. So she's been snuggled up on the bed. And now it's time to take her for a little walk down to the park and give her some treats. Now, I could have easily sat at home this weekend and, done my washing and cleaned the house, cleaned out another cupboard, but I think every now and then you've got to take yourself out on an adventure. If no one's going to take you, you have to take yourself, and that's what I've decided. Millie is here with me. She's the perfect adventure companion. She does not complain or whinge or carry on, and she's happy to do anything that I do as long as we're together. I think happiness is definitely something that you find in the small details, and just being able to sit here in a park with Millie watching the birds is another sort of happy moment that I'm going to remember. So I have now moved the car to the other side of the park, and I'm going to get myself all set up for tonight. So because I left in such a hurry, I didn't charge any of my solar lights. So I'm putting them in the sun in the car just to get charged. And I'm going to connect my fridge because one of the reasons I'm here is Costco. I wanted to check out Costco in Osaka and just see what kind of items they had and make a decision if I want to join and be a member of their community. As I was setting up the van, I just noticed some people walking their dogs and some other animal. And I couldn't quite work out what this animal was. I got really intrigued by it, so I jumped out of the car and I went closer to have a look. I couldn't work out if it was a squirrel, or I actually think this might be a meerkat. What do you think this animal is? I'm thinking it's a meerkat. I could be totally wrong. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. It's not a ferret. I don't know. Is this a meerkat? I've never seen one before like this, so I'm a little bit confused, but let me know in the comments what you thought that was. So it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and the car park at Costco was still full, and I'd purposely decided to come to Costco late so I could avoid the crowds, but that is definitely not going to be possible. They're open until 8 o'clock, so my theory of it being empty at 5 was totally off, but I really wanted to check out what things are available here at Costco. And I actually spent around 3 hours looking at all of the different items. A lot of things made me think about home, and I was like, oh yeah, look, I remember this and I remember that. Just things that you can't seem to buy on the supermarket shelves here in Japan. One of my biggest scores was some Heinz baked beans, some hummus, organic crackers, some pesto, things that I've been longing to eat for. And I heard that the cafe was pretty good too. You can get a hot dog with a drink for 180 yen. That's $1.80 in Australia. I'm really excited to share with you something that's been in the making since December. I have designed my own shirts to represent the channel the best, and that is Life is Journey. And of course, I didn't want to show you anything that wasn't top-notch quality, so I've ordered all of the samples just to check myself. This is the unisex shirt, and it has double stitching, and it's also a really nice soft material, and it's true to size. This is an L size, and I ordered this one for my son. This is the one I'm the most excited about. This is a very comfortable fit. I think they call it a Easy Fit by Bella & Canvas, and it is one of the softest cotton materials out there. It's a really good quality shirt. It's not see-through at all. Again, it has double stitching, and it was true to size. I bought an L size just because I'm a little bit larger around the middle, and it wasn't clinging to me or anything like that. And I mentioned ages ago that I couldn't find stubby coolers here in Japan, so I definitely wanted to add that to my collection. This one will be great for when I'm out camping, and I've got Millie's little paw prints everywhere and the message that life is journey. So back now to the Michi no Eki, which is the roadside station, and it's now dark and I have to be really quiet. It seems like everyone parked with one space between another van, so I've done the same thing. I've left a space between myself and the other vans. All of the vans here are either Winnebagos or Camroads or Hi-Aces. I'm the only one camping in my little K minivan. So yeah, that's okay though. I'm gonna have just as good a night as any one of these other people. And here at the roadside station, we're just separated from the main building. So this is obviously the place where everyone is camping. And there is a vending machine with both hot and cold drinks, and you can get coffee or you can get water, anything you need. And the toilets, they're pretty basic, but the good thing is there's a light and they're open all night. There's a Japanese style and a Western style toilet. Nothing fancy, but it will do. And I'm just noticing it's probably around 8:30 at night now. Most of the vans have their lights off, and I feel like people have bunkered in for the night. It's very quiet, so I have to also be very quiet. So I'm just going to make my bed. That's the only thing I didn't do before I left before. So I'm getting out my sleeping bag, and it's around 8 degrees now, and it is raining. It is quite loud on the roof of my car. I've actually never slept in my car when it's raining before. I'm going to throw one of these heat-activated heat packs into my sleeping bag, and Millie has her little oyster bed cave that she loves, ready for sleep. I've given her her dinner, and I was very happy to see her eat all of her dinner because she hasn't had much exercise today being in the van, and she didn't really want to go for a walk when we went for a walk. So I am really happy with how today went. I'm settling in. I have done a little bit of editing, but I just feel like relaxing. Today is a day off, so I'm going to watch a little bit of trash TV on my VPN and connect back to Australia and not lose my Australian roots.
But like on reflection, I was like, wait, it actually really hurt.
That the trust can start to build again.
After relaxing for a while, I tucked myself up into bed. Millie is not ready for bed yet. She's still very keen to look out the windows and see what's going on. And boy, did it rain overnight. It was really loud. Good morning, and what a night. It was pretty good except for someone that parked right next to us at about 6 a.m. in the morning and got their dogs out of the car to go for a walk. So I probably would rethink where I parked my car next time. I was right up against the footpath, and I didn't think about all the people coming early in the morning to walk their dogs. So yeah, probably a lesson for next time is just park a little bit further away from the main event. It was a little bit annoying, and it's so cold. I just wanted to snuggle in bed for a couple of more hours before I get up. But that is what it looks like outside. A bit of a rainy, miserable start to the day, but it was really nice to hear the rain on the roof overnight. So now I'm just going to pack up the curtains. I haven't actually bought proper curtains for this van yet, so as you can see, I just got some makeshift curtains that I hooked up with magnets, but I do need to spend the money and buy some proper curtains. And there's that person that woke me up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, Millie's looking at them and she's a bit envious, so I think I need to take her for a walk as well. She's probably ready to get out of the van, so I've got her lead with me and I'm going to go and take her to sniff the grass and have a little wander around, get her paws wet in the wet grass. I was saying this before, but we often think that adventure has to be big and traveling far and spending money and chasing excitement. But adventure can just be a simple way of seeing the world, and that's how I'm looking at it. So I've got Millie back in the car now. She wasn't all that keen on the walk, and I've decided to go and get some coffee in Osaka. And I found there's a Komeda coffee not too far away from the roadside station that I was staying at, because as you know, I didn't bring anything with me this time. But I was thinking, what if the morning coffee wasn't just coffee? But what if I thought about it as like the first moment of stillness in the day? A simple drive to the coffee shop is a way to notice things, notice the trees, notice the train going past, notice the air changing. It's starting to maybe turn a little bit in Japan. We might have the first glimpse of spring coming, and maybe this cold weather is going to end and we're going to move into the next phase. So I just feel like adventure isn't about where you go, it's about how you see things and how you look at life with curiosity, gratitude, and a little bit of wonder. So today and every day I'm going to choose to enjoy the little things and find magic, because life isn't something we wait for. I think it's something that we create, one small moment at a time. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye.